Oh wait, I was recording this whole time? Hey guys, Ben Shapiro here. Opinions. We all have them, we all like to share them, and some of them may just get us into trouble. Alright guys, hear me out. Here's why I think the age of consent should be lowered to 20. One of the primary characteristics of the human species is our amazing ability to perceive the world and our environment from a subjective standpoint. It's really what separates us from the rest of those dirty, uncivilized creatures out there in the wild. Think about it. What other animal is able to communicate their own personal beliefs to other members of their species and create an identity for themselves based entirely on those beliefs? You don't ever see monkeys or dolphins referring to themselves as anti-vaxxers or putting defund the police in their Instagram bio. Well, that's mostly because they can't speak English or use social media, but my point still stands. Is there really any other creature on Earth who cares so deeply about the thoughts and feelings of both themselves and other members of their species, enough to start riots and rip out their hair over it? I don't know about you, but I'd say that's pretty homo. Homo sapien, that is. Hey, got him. But much like trying to figure out how many women Elvis Presley slept with over the course of his lifetime, it's not that simple. If every human being was programmed with the exact same set of beliefs and opinions at birth, we would be living in an entirely different world. More often than not, opinions differ from person to person, and that's what tends to stir up a fuss when it comes to a certain topic or subject matter. After all, you can't spell opinion without I. But let me spare you the preschool antics. Leave that to old Jared over here. It truly is amazing how we all come from the same evolutionary origin and share about 99% of the exact same DNA, yet we think and behave so differently and have vastly contrasting beliefs on certain issues. You would come to think that individuals of a similar age, gender, heritage, or cultural background would see eye to eye on a lot more things, or at least have a more similar thought process. But if you've ever flipped on a television before or gone outside for more than 2 minutes, you would know that that's anything but the truth. People can have such radically opposing views on certain things that you would assume they come from two different galaxies. And among these strongly clashing opinions, each person has their own piece of evidence that they cling to in order to reinforce their claims and try to make their opponent out to look like a buffoon. Fuck me. But here's the $1 million question. Or, I guess $100 if you're a college student. With all of these beliefs being thrown around left and right, and everyone proclaiming themselves to be the pinnacle of intelligence, you just have to ask yourself, who's actually right? And more importantly, is anyone ever wrong for having an opinion? Is it possible to be subjectively fallible? Can a person ever be considered incorrect for believing in something that's not based on factual information or evidence, but rather personal feelings or conjecture? Well, I'll tell you, it's my damn video. I'm sure the first thing that comes to mind is racism and homophobia. How is there any way to justify that, am I right? As much as these two concepts have been morally outlawed and stigmatized in society, there still exists plenty of people today who firmly believe that being gay is a choice or that one race is superior to the others. It's certainly not a sound position to take from a scientific or rational standpoint. But at the same time, you can't exactly disprove the opinion of a racist or a homophobe because at the end of the day, it's just what they believe. I'm not saying that they're good people or that I agree in the slightest. That's just how it is. You can have the most radical, problematic, and unprogressive beliefs on the planet, but truth be told, you're still entitled to your opinion. I can present the most sound and logical argument in the world to you as to why gender, race, or sexuality should not serve as the basis for discrimination, but no matter how hard I try, the only thing that matters to you is how you feel. Fuck. Now, before you go off and rally up your comments labeling me as a rape enabler or an offender defender, allow me to explain myself for a second. To further elaborate on where I'm going with this, allow me to point to a little scientific anecdote I've conjured up for you. You see, within the human species, there exists a large subcategory of insipid and loathsome creatures that seem to have infested the population and reproduce a lot more quickly and efficiently than any other organism. These are known as dumb people. I'm sure you've come across plenty in your lifetime, and you may even know a few of them personally. Hell, you may even be one yourself. I guess the only way to know for sure is if you find this entertaining. Ooh. Subscribe to my channel. But to all the people not entertained by my vain attempts at humor, listen closely. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's a lot of dumb people in this world. I mean, there are a lot of dumb people in this world. Oh fuck, I just used incorrect grammar. I think I'm becoming one of them. But like I said, dumb people are everywhere. And likewise, dumb people tend to have very dumb opinions on things. That's just common sense. I think you can easily arrive at the conclusion that ignorant people tend to subscribe to ideologies that cater to their ignorant beliefs. If you didn't know that, well, you're just ignorant. So of course people with IQs lower than my body count find things like Jersey Shore entertaining, It's all that their intellectual capacities are able to comprehend. But whether or not you believe that lizard people are running the government or that the moon landing was staged, I think we can all agree that some people's opinions just don't make sense. I mean, heavens to Betsy, you'd swear that some people stick their mouth up to a car exhaust before they give their painstakingly misinformed take on an issue. There's no way that people actually think that being gay is a choice, or that vaccines cause autism, or that Cars 2 is a good movie. There's no way in the nine hells that they could possibly be right? Right is the opposite of left. But in actuality, no. So long as a person's beliefs are based on conjecture and not factual information, they're technically not wrong about anything. The words they say might just raise your blood pressure, compel you to throw darts at a board that resembles their face, or convince you to start attending therapy for experiencing homicidal thoughts. But whether you agree with them or not, they're still entitled to their opinion. Hey, I didn't make the rules. You may now proceed to angrily throttle your stress ball while pretending it's my neck. But you might just want to save the punches and kicks for your future spouse, because this is the part where I get a little more predictable. Be sure to grab your jackets, because I'm about to go snowflake mode. Like I said before, no matter how morally skewed or unorthodox a person's beliefs seem to be, they will always be considered correct from their own perspective. However, while everyone is equally entitled to their own opinion, not all opinions are necessarily created equal. There are plenty of opinions you may possess that might make sense to you, but will never ever enter the conversation among people with a functioning prefrontal cortex. So while you may hold the stance that homosexuals are possessed by demons or that Adolf Hitler was justified in his actions, that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of us should treat your opinion with the same respect or even allow you to express those beliefs in a public format. Because come on, it's the 21st century. People with any sort of educational background or moral compass should have enough dignity and self-respect to know not to buy into bigoted and ass-backwards rigmarole like that. Oh my fucking god. So in conclusion, yes, there may not be such a thing as a wrong opinion, but not all opinions are worthy of merit or even deserve to be taken seriously. You may see yourself as a genius or a saint for having certain beliefs, but to me and the rest of the functioning members of society, you'll always be a nincompoop. But as for whose opinions you choose to buy into and which ones you rightfully decide to toss in the garbage, I'll leave that up to you. I can't tell you what you should and should not think. I'm not in control of your beliefs. Preach whatever you want to preach. You decide what you think is right. That's all for this one. Peace the fuck out.